Greetings, YouTube. I'm doing something different here. I'm going to go about a how to play video in regards of certain games that, while I might find it easy to understand it, a lot of people can't seem to get a grasp on it very well because it really doesn't help that their tutorial kind of sucks ass. So the game in question today is going to be Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord slash War Sales because I have the expansion. Now, first and foremost, when it comes to the game, you're going to get dragged off into bumfuck middle of nowhere. Okay, if you go a regular campaign, you'll just be given some form of a story with some form of a goal, and then that's it. If you go a custom campaign, which I don't know if that's available at War Sales, it might be a Bannerlord thing only, but the custom campaign will literally just drop you in the middle of the fucking map in the faction of whatever it is that your particular race is. Okay? Now, a lot of shit here can be seen as overwhelming. First off, I can understand where there's the confusion of what the hell are these guys? What the hell are the blue guys here? What the hell are the teal guys? Who's it? What makes you blue guys different from the other blue guys? Why is there green guys? What's with all the colors? I'll work with you on this as is. First and foremost, if you don't know the lore, I would recommend you go out of your way to play the story and at least watch the opening cutscene. But each and every single one of these is a different kingdom. The greens are the Battanians. These reddish dudes are the Vlandians. These purplish dudes, bluish dudes, and pinkish purple guys are all part of a fractured empire. These blue guys here are the Sturgids. These dudes here are the Nords. These guys over here are the Kuzite, which is basically the Mongolians. And then you have the Aserai, which is basically the Arabs, the Sand People, shit like that. Those are all the different factions, and depending on what your nationality is that you choose, you'll have a different benefit depending on the nationality you go with. Every time I play this game, I prefer to go with the Battanians, purely because if you look at the map now, all of these trees, every one of these little patches of forest, will slow you down drastically while you're traveling on the ground. Battanians ignore 50% of that movement penalty. It allows you to get away from enemies, allows you to catch up to enemies a lot faster. But getting ahead of myself. First and foremost, almost everything in regards of your min-maxing in this game will be taken care of on the lower left here with all these different bars. Now, odds are you won't see Kingdom highlighted for a while, and Fleet won't be available if you don't have War Sales at all. But, as you can see there, you cannot access it when you are on land. That's where it comes down to these towns that have these little anchors on them. Like, Ostakin has an anchor by it, Provent has an anchor, Golland has an anchor. That's because those are port towns. You go to each one of those in order to actually do anything with the fleet, but we'll get there. First and foremost, let's bring up our character menu. Now, again, I understand where this comes off as very overwhelming. And hold up, this music is getting a little fucking loud. There you go. Music is getting a little loud. I can't really hear myself saying. Anyways, this right here is where all of your skills are going to take place in regards of anything that you do. There's nothing saying you have to do everything here. Again, reason why you see everything maxed out with 330 on it is because this is a cheat file. I'll even show you how to cheat in this game when I get done. But in a nutshell, what I would call something that they did here is essentially, for lack of a better term, a proficiency system. The more you do it, the better you get at it. The less you do it, the more you're going to suck at it. So as you can see here, you have one-handed, two-handed, pole arm. These are your weapons. You want to get better with these? Just go up and stab a motherfucker with it. Stab them, slice them, cut their head off. Doesn't matter. Just roll up and slice somebody. You'll get better at it as time goes on, the more you do it. This goes the same for everything in regards to like bow, crossbow, and throwing. Now, other skills here level up depending on certain things you do whilst fighting. Riding levels up as you are going around on horseback fighting via combat with any of these 6 weapons up here: throwing, crossbow, bow, one-handed, two-handed, polearm. You level up riding as you keep fighting with any of these 6 choices up here while on horseback. As you get better with horseback riding, you'll be able to ride better horses, you'll be able to move faster, maneuver the horse faster, all around just easier time riding on a horse. Athletics is the exact opposite. If you want to level this up, you need to go into combat on your feet. You need to kill people with swords, spears, bows, crossbows, throwing javelins, whatever. You need to use any of those while on foot. You can't fight while on horseback. You need to fight while on foot to level up your athletics. Smithing is exactly as it sounds. Go into a town, enter smithy, and you can start blacksmithing. Now, there's a whole entire guide on that. I am not the guy to do that. I'm just here to help you get an understanding of the basic principle of the game on how to play. Roguery, I'll show you a nice trick in War Sales on how to get about leveling that up because they did make it a lot easier in War Sales than in the base game. The base game, this was arguably one of the hardest ones to level up. Scouting is the easiest to level up. All you got to do in order to level this up, travel the map. That's all you got to do. Travel the map while on foot, and you will level up scouting as you get going. Tactics is more of a double-edged sword thing here in order to level this up. You have to do it in order to get better at it, but until you get better at it, it's kind of not worth doing. You see the issue there. Tactics more takes into place when you just resolve combat with auto battles. Like, okay, I'm going against a group of 40. See, right here. Let's see. Example, if say I went to war with or I went to attack one of these looters here. 26 units compared to 422. There's no point in me even going into the battle manually unless I just wanted to watch a one-sided slaughter. So more often than not, if I'm in a combat with them like that, I will just resolve it with an auto battle. That's where this particular skill comes into play. The more you do it, the better you get at it. Therefore, the less likely you'll suffer casualties or even lose when resolving combat with auto battles. A lot of people probably understand what I mean by auto battle. I'm pretty sure it's self-explanatory, but it only is as good as your tactics skill is. If your tactics skill is shit, then don't auto battle. Do manual battle for everything, or else you're probably going to lose a lot of progress, wealth, and just get captured. Charm, I'm going to keep it real. I more or less just only see this in regards of whenever I'm interacting with certain NPCs. I never see this come into play. Not any time when I'm playing it. I'm going to keep it real. I don't know the best on what to do with Charm because I'm just not that guy. I will tell you everything else in regards of everything else. Charm is probably the one skill I'm not the guy to come to about that. Only thing I can assume is that it increases in skill as you go about talking to more NPCs, making deals, negotiating peace treaties, negotiating your safe travel, shit like that. Leadership goes up as you just upgrade your soldiers. You want to level up leadership, just level up your soldiers. Plain and simple, as easy as can be with that. Because you're going to be going around recruiting these regular ass militia, basic grunt motherfuckers in the game, which I'll show you how to recruit soldiers when we get done. But as you're recruiting soldiers, you'll be upgrading them as they survive in fights and get some kills and everything. They do upgrade in tiers and getting more powerful with their own costs. Trade here is arguably one of the most powerful things in the game once you know how to do it. Because you could be the richest motherfucker in these lands without ever having land. You can on my legitimate file, I'm running around with 3.7 million gold. And that's without any land. All I've done is just go around being a mercenary for different lords on my legitimate file. Mix trade with smithing, dude, you can bankrupt every fucking land and be the richest dude in this entire game. But again, I'm trying to help you get an understanding of the game, not try to teach you how to not try to teach you how to break it, to teach you how to play it. Engineering is a lot like tactics. You're not going to be good at it until you do it enough to be good at it. You want a guide specifically on how to do so? I'm not the guy, just telling you the basic premises and the principles. Engineering is all about your siege stuff. The better you are at it, the faster you can make different siege engines, like launch different trebuchet stuff. It's more or less when trying to siege a different territory. Example, if I wanted to siege Pendrake Castle, that's where engineering would come into play. It'd be how fast I could build my stuff up. It'd be how well we could resist any of their stuff. It's all based around siege warfare, nothing more, nothing less. Medicine comes into play after every single battle. Now, it's weird. I don't know how to directly focus this, but it does take place. So, say you go into a battle, you barely win, you are near dead, your men are all just fucking severely injured. Because as you see here where it says 422, that's how many men I have. If they're injured, you'll see like 389 with the majority, like say 20 something in like with a W there. That's wounded. Medicine comes into play in regards of making sure that you help recover faster, they recover faster, and with certain perks, you get more prisoners of war, which comes into roguery. If you get prisoners via combat and you sell them, poof, roguery goes up, but not by much. But again, we'll get there. Steward is as simple as could be. You want to level this up? Make sure you don't have just one type of food in your inventory. That's it. That's purely it. The more your steward goes up, the bigger the army you get. And if you want steward to go up faster and develop better, just have more than one type of food. Give your men beer, give them fish, give them meat, give them butter, give them olives, give them grapes, give them grain. Make sure they have diversity of food, and steward goes up. That's it. Plain and simple, easy as can be. Now, the bottom three here are all dedicated to the War Sales expansion. Mariner works a lot like riding. You want to level up Mariner, you need to get into sea battles and fight. You need to get into a lot of manual naval combat, which is a lot easier said than done because after a certain point, the enemy are just going to be sea raiders that barely have shit, and you'll have a fleet of multi-hundred men. Like, it's very, very difficult to level this one up because you could very easily become the big intimidating threat on the seas without even trying. Boatswain, I think, purely is just repair your ships. Repair it over and over again, as well as upgrading it, much like how leadership is. It's just, instead of just upgrading your troops, you're repairing and upgrading your boats. Shipmaster, as far as I am aware, this only goes by how much you travel in stormy, choppy waters. The more you travel in stormy, choppy waters, but at the risk of having your boats be destroyed and being capsized, the higher this goes. The higher it is, you see, your sailing speed goes up. But that's the basic rundown of everything. I'll give you a quick here to therefore on how to do different things. Like, example, you want to level up roguery, throwing, and one-handed. Give me a minute and I'll show you exactly how to do that. There we go. Now, this is new. This stealth stuff is completely new to War Sales. But while you're sneaking around, you have a lot of different things you could do here. Example, while sneaking, any and all kills count towards your roguery. There you go. Points towards throwing and roguery right there, because I just killed this guy without him realizing it by chucking a knife at his head. That's how you can level up throwing and roguery. Now let me show you if I can show you how to level up roguery and one-handed. There you go. Now the damage is a little exaggerated because I'm, again, cheat file, but you would see athletics, roguery, and one-handed all level up by just doing that. Now, the big thing to note, if you're going to try taking advantage of the stealth in this game, you don't want your character to be huge. You don't want their size to be as big as possible. You want them to be as small as possible. Because if you're a big dude, it's impossible for you to sneak around. You'll get caught immediately. And throw. No. There we go. Now the whole entirety of the stealth stuff is purely new to War Sales. Press and hold, and now I don't know on PC. I'm playing this on console. You press and hold down on the D-pad. You can toggle crouch, which is what allows you to be harder to see, or walk, which makes you move slower, meaning you're stepping quietly. Now the only reason why I'm moving so fast is because my athletics are maxed out. And hup, got him. Nope. Damn it. Get him. Yeah! Ouch. That was the leg. Alright, now there's all my throwing knives. Well, nope, I got one back. Yes, much like in real life, the majority of your throwing weapons are limited. They do have that level of realism to it. Gotcha, motherfucker. And then call troops. That right there would have leveled up my roguery something violent. But at the same time, I'm on a cheat file to help you guys get an understanding on what to do here. You think you can stop me? Oh, those are my guys. Got a fucking javelin sticking out of my left shoulder and it ain't nothing. You want to duel me? I'll duel you and kill you with this knife. Gotcha. Wow, that was a face stab too. He wasn't living through that. But that right there is probably one of the better ways to get some early levels in one-handed throwing, shit. Trying to think. One-handed throwing, athletics, and roguery. Every time you get done with a battle, you'll get all this loot you could go through at the tail end. And the screen you saw before was me upgrading any of my men, as well as taking any prisoners of war. And there we go. That right there is just the base premise of the movements and the combat you could do in toe-to-toe combat, or just sneaking. Sneaking has a huge, huge premise in this game, and you could do a lot with it. Like, let's see. Approach the gates, request entry, continue, and dungeon. Nope, you don't have anybody in your dungeon. You can prison break people out of this. So, I mean, there's a lot you could do. Normally, in order to level up roguery, you had to be at war, and you had to raid villages and sell prisoners. But now with this new stealth stuff that they added, you could go about doing a lot more shit, like what you saw with the bandit encampment, or breaking somebody out of jail. If, say, example in Dunglanis here, somebody's in their dungeon. Why is there a yellow exclamation marker there? What the hell's going on there? Arzagos, huh? Oh, okay.
Very well. The dragon banner in your hands proclaims you the avenger of the Empire's crimes, and its successor. Now, go forth and claim your destiny.
Yep, this ought to be really bad. This should start a shit show really fast. But we'll get there. First and foremost, is there anybody in the dungeon? No. Damn. Well, let's see. You don't look like you're any bit affiliated, so let me talk to you.
Sorry, I don't...
Damn it. Alright. That being said, might as well go about the different menus here. This is your inventory. You'll be going through here in regards of equipment, or just horses, or just random shit. You have 3 different sets of equipment here. You have your battle outfit, your civilian outfit, which used to be your stealth outfit, and then your stealth outfit, which is obviously your stealth outfit. Civilian outfit really won't be seeing much in play, other than just when you're out and about in towns just talking with people. Battle outfit's the one you're going to be seeing yourself in the most. And stealth outfit, it really depends on how much you want to give a shit about roguery. God, somebody's got to have a place for me to try to break someone out. Like, there's got to be a prisoner somewhere. What about Pen Cannock? in due time, we should be having some wars from the empires trying to kick our ass, but that's why I also got an island area. Damn it. You Battanians are sucking ass in war if you ain't got any fucking prisoners. Now, it ain't regular prisoners like these guys down here. These are just regular ass prisoners. I'm talking like nobility, high ranking prisoners like kings or royals or whatever. All right. Goddamn, I need a combat situation. I really do. I need something with some actual battle, but I don't need something against like 1,000 fucking men though. Otherwise, we're really not going to be doing well in a fight. Hmm. There's a problem. I want to show off a little bit in regards to the actual combat in toe-to-toe fights. I should be able to handle 18 deserters by myself, just to give you a bit of understanding in regards of the horseback riding and two-handed combat. All right, I'm going to attack, and I should be able to solo these guys. If not, my men will take care of it for me, but... All right, let me take my two-handed cleaver out. And you should see the results of basically what you do in order to level up your riding two-handed and everything. Yep, just gonna charge right through these men. Yep, and you can just run them over, and it's a viable way to do some damage. Wow, you stunned my horse. You know what? There you go. That's how you can level up throwing. Nope, I believe you missed. Oh, you guys are running. Ooh, right in the leg. Right through the shield. And there you go, right through the shoulder. Oh, there's still two more. Your problem no more. How about to say, how are you not dead? Like, you don't see the amount of arrows in this man? That man should have been dead a while back with all them arrows, but either way. Give me a moment here and I shall explain essentially the overall goal of this game, if you care to know that. And then, yeah, I'll probably just end it here with a little bit of editing, but the majority of what you know or what you need to know has already been taught to you. Now, in regards of combat or actual controls, if you wish to know, zoom, and this is just for console. I don't know for whoever's playing on, say, Xbox or PC. This is for PlayStation. To zoom in and out, you need the L2 and R2 buttons. Uh, L1 and R1 really don't do much. R1 just continues the time, while L1 allows you to see every name of anything on the field right now. Left analog stick is for everything. If you want to lock it into where it's the screen's locked in here and move the cursor around to do anything down here, you need to press circle. Press circle again to just travel around the screen, do what you want to do to check out. Really, any main goal that I could honestly state here, really comes down to what you want to do in the game. This is really the takeaway stuff. If you want to get better at any of your skills, actively go out of your way to use them. Riding is more or less anything horseback combat. Athletics is anything on combat on foot. Any of the weapons, just use the weapon and you'll get better at using the weapon. There's very few different skills that are very difficult to figure out or level up, but really the majority of everything I told you here should be everything that you really would need to know in regards on how to play Bannerlord slash War Sales Mounted Blade 2. The main goal I could state is that it's really what you want to do. You want to take over all the lands? Go ahead. You want to be the most legendary blacksmith? Go ahead. You want to make everybody bankrupt because you have the most high quality stuff? By all means, it's fully possible. You even have the ability to become so rich you can buy land. You can literally just buy the land that you want. The only thing with the main campaign is more or less, do you fight for the Empire, which is these three fractured ass people and the Valandians, or do you fight against the Empire, meaning you're like the Battanians, the Sturgians, the Nords, the Kuzite, and the Aserai, which all believe the Empire should be just eradicated. It comes down to how you want to play. This is very much in its own weird ass way an open world of whatever you want to do. Your main thing that you're trying to do, if I'm to give you a goal, is to more or less raise up your clan tier. This bar on the upper right here, which gives a variety of different rewards, but the easiest way to go about it is win battles, win wars, succeed at sieges, as well as just win tournaments and shit. Just be an overall badass. Just be a bona fide badass. Now, to help with the smithy stuff, so nobody's wondering, okay, how do I go about being a smithy if I just want to be a legendary smithy? Go to any large town, like Dunglanis here, Penkinnock, Oxhall. You'll know it's a large town because it'll actually have its banner there or its title for the name be bigger than all the others. Castles don't have this. Regular towns don't have this. You want the big ones. You need the actual cities. So we're gonna go to Dunglanis just so I can show you how to go about using smithy. And yeah, then we could call it there. It should be everything you need to just know the very basic premise of this game on how to play it anyway. Trade, plain and simple. Go here, sell whatever the hell you don't want to sell, like piece of shit gear. And there you go. Poof. This is where all your traded, more or less your money's going to come from. Recruiting troops, you get used to this because every town, village, city, except for castles, have the ability to allow you to recruit troops. But smithy. Here you can forge weapons, smelt down old shit you're not using, or refine metals into higher tier metals, like taking hardwood, turning it into charcoal, taking iron ore, turning it into crude ore, then taking that to wrought iron, iron, steel, and so forth and so forth. Obviously, higher quality weapons demands higher quality shit. But you can do two things here. You can free build your equipment to just be used for personal combat, or you could build for money, which is through orders here. Building in custom orders for anybody who requires it. Now, obviously, the better you do, the more they're going to reward you. But at the same time, there's really high demand stuff like right here. High demand, but for high pay. 70,000 gold isn't anything to scoff at. That being aside, though, that really should be everything you need. The only thing you need to keep in mind in regards of anything smithing here before you decide to just be Mr. Blacksmith, uh, fucking Hattori Hanzo, Hashimoto Steelmaker, whatever the hell you want to go about your own particular ideas, you want to keep in mind these resources all down here, first and foremost, because you can't make anything if you don't have anything. And then this green bar right here to the left of you, your smithing energy. To put in perspective, say, okay, I want to make just a bunch of better throwing knives. We're going to go with the highest tier knife. There we go. Highest tier handguard, which is like right here. Yep. Best handle, which is this. Yep, just there we go. Everything's as big as possible because why the fuck not? Overcompensation for Napoleon. Anyways, and there you go. You got a badass knife design you want to make, and all you got to do is just press square. Poof. You can do this as many times as you have the energy or the resources to do it. All right, there we go. Made a bunch of them. Now, all right, I have a large bag, a couple of large bags. So let me go ahead and change up my inventory because say I want to use it. It's more than what I had. Large bag, poof. Large bag, poof. All right, and that's it. I don't want to do the rest and say nobody has enough money to buy out my knives. Like, okay, let's go here. Let's see how much they sell for. Meh, a couple of thousand, whatever. But say I don't want to sell it. Let's go to the smithy. Smelting. Oh, look at that. All those resources. Just given right back to me. But at the same time, now I'm really fucking tired and have no energy. So, what do you do in order to get your energy back properly? You just wait at the town for a little while. Hmm. Now, this is all new war sale stuff. This is just random events that'll happen when you're in towns or settlements. This is definitely something that's not in base Bannerlord. So do keep in mind the roguery stuff, like where you're sneaking around, crouched and everything, as well as shit like these little events here, not at all available in base Bannerlord. All right. Now let's just continue. All right. Say it's been a solid good half a day. Enter smithy. Poof. You're still tired because smithing's a very demanding physical thing, but it shouldn't hinder you in combat. You're just not going to be able to smith anything if you don't have any energy. Now to the very last thing of our particular how to play video is say you just don't want to do all of this and you want to fucking roll through like an overpowered badass like myself. Go to campaign options first off. Press options to bring up the main menu here. I'm pretty sure the button is escape for computer. I don't know for everything. So again, I'm just going by the PS5 standard. Campaign options. This changes up the difficulty of the game. Let's say you just want to cheat. Right here, open cheat menu. It could also be opened by L1 R2 down button in map. So L1 R2 down. There you go. Influence, renown, those will come in play in regards of like how much people know you, as well as how much your clan rank goes up. Gold, I think we already know. Crafting materials, same thing. Crafting stamina, it's that green bar you saw for the smithy stuff. War horses, it's mostly in regards of the horses you can ride or the horses you need to give your men for upgrades. Grain, food, troops, soldiers, obviously, self-explanatory. Heal player party, unlock all crafting recipes, and unlock Fog of War. I don't really care for the Fog of War one because it's not really going to do much. And then boosting skill. You go about this to max out any of your skills. You have to do it, I think, 9 to 10 times for each press in order to get them to max out, like where I'm at. But afterwards, you should be able to just do whatever the hell you want. You even have some cheats in combat, which allows you to just eradicate foes. Like, let's see. There we go. Justice demands. Okay. And then we're gonna attack. We're not gonna do any of the fighting. We're gonna show you how to cheat in combat. All right. Set my wife down to be the captain of the footmen. You know what? Here, captain of the mounted archers. And then, oh, look at that. There's all these soldiers. Oh no, we got to worry about them. No, we don't. Cheat menu and wound all enemies. Poof. They're automatically knocked down. We're done. And in case you're wondering, yes, that does work for tournaments. That does work for sieges. That works for really anything where you are dealing with enemies of any kind. Just if you want to cheat, you have a button right there to just knock motherfuckers out and you win the battle. Now, sieges are a little different because there's a lot of soldiers. Same thing with basically hundreds of men versus hundreds of men, like army v army. That is an entirely different beast because there's so many more numbers. They still have to load in waves. Yes, they have to load in waves. They're not just there automatically. But with all that said, that should be everything in regards of how to play Bannerlord. In order to move around on console or PC, I'm assuming you just click the map or press X like I'm doing. And when you're not moving, the game will automatically pause. So I hope that helps. If not, I apologize. If anything I missed that you could, like, okay, what about this? Or how do I go about this? It should be easily more understood in regards of either a guide, you look it up, or something dedicated to that. Example, I know I didn't do the best for roguery, and I know I'm not at all anything helpful for charm, but I'm not a guy who goes about charm as an option. I'm a guy who goes about murder, stabbing, or money. Mostly because those are the best fucking ways to get progress done in this game. But that being aside, hope y'all enjoyed. Hope this helped. I hope the simplicity of this is a lot better than any of the other tutorials. But hold up. But I thought I was done. But upon seeing Carbansith here, this actually helped me remember something. One thing I am going to help here, just in simplistic regards, because I touched on it, but I didn't really do too much in regards of explaining it. Naval stuff. Give it a minute. Let me get into the town. Let me get there ever so slowly. There we go. Whenever you're in any town that's got a shipyard, you can go to the port, which allows you to do a variety of things. You can walk around the port. You can go back to the main town center. You can manage your fleet, which, let's bring that up. This has a variety of good options, but here you'll come across two menus. The menus of the boats that you have will be the first ones that pop up. These are all my ships that I've been using, or the ships that are available for sale, like this one here, or some of the other ones available, like the Dogfish Western Galley. The point being is that this is where you'll be doing everything in regards of your upgrading, your repairs, everything in regards of your ship stuff. And obviously, you're going to want to be good at getting money in this game, because not a single one of these damn boats are cheap. Each and every single boat is at the minimum over 10,000 gold. But that all being said, and since this is where you could go about just upgrading your ships, buying new ships and whatever, you can repair them right here. You set sail, you'll come across onto the waters, which just by traveling around, it's not going to be as fast-paced or interesting, because, again, I have 422 men. The majority of pirates have barely 60 men on the seas right now. That being aside, though, I shouldn't really need to tell you in regards on how to manage towns or castles, because there's other guides already on that, and there's not anything new on that, short of maybe one or more things to work on, like a shipyard. But that being aside, everything should be pretty explained. The party menu right here, this is where you can go about upgrading your men or recruiting men. This is how many troops can be upgraded. This is how many prisoners are willing to be part of your entourage. This scroll here is your quest menu. Anything in regards of anything quest-wise you have right here. It's plain and simple. Sometimes a little too simple. Your clan menu, which is how many companions, people you've hired to join your clan, or how many family members you have, are all right here on the members tab. Parties tab, which you can create a new party, but I don't have anybody that's really allowed to do that. Not to mention, like it says, you can't do it while sailing. How many caravans, as well as how many places you own and how many workshops. Now, workshops and caravans, they're their own different beast, but they are where you could get a shitload of gold in this game. Workshops here, plain and simple. If you have a smithy, put raw iron ore in the fucking warehouse. If you got a brewery, put grain in the workhouse. If you got a wood workshop, put hardwood in the workshop or in the warehouse, and then poof, you got money coming in. Plain and simple, as easy as possible. Parties, it's a different category. You need to have an actual quote-unquote hero, which is basically a person that levels up, has skills, can be given direct equipment. They need to be in charge of any of the caravans out and about. And yes, your caravans will be attacked, they will be jumped, they will be attempted to be raided. And if you're in any wars, you might as well just say that these things are going to be going bye-bye. But if they last and they stay lasting for a while, these are also going to get you a lot of gold per turn. As you can see there on the far right, my finance window. Could be better, but at the same time, it's because I've been leaving my warehouse empty. So my workshops have to go out and get the shit themselves in order to make stuff. But if you go ahead and get the stuff they need, fill up the warehouse with the stuff they need, it's just easier. But this is where you'll get all of your information on your clan stuff. And then, like I said, you shouldn't have to worry about this for a long time. This comes into play when you've either become a vassal for another nation, or you become your own lord like I did in this particular file. It gives information on everything. It tells you how they're doing. Perfect example. I have shit. This place couldn't be any happier. This place couldn't be any bit happier in any way, shape, or form. Policies, this is where your laws are involved. I recommend anything that involves having it where you build up loyalty. Purely because if you're going to try to take over everything, people will not like you because you're not of their nationality. So, example being, my town, Hivalvik, that's obviously a Nord town. But since I'm not Nord, they don't like me. So that's where I give the recommendation of any particular policies being loyalty increasing. Example, yeah, their hearth production is decreased, but their loyalty increases by half of 1 per day. That's big. That is very big. So again, highly recommended you go about any policies that just raise up your loyalty. Armies doesn't come into play unless you're on land for one, and two, unless you got a lot of people under your leadership. I ain't got that many, and I ain't worried about it. Diplomacy, plain and simple. This is where you're going to be dealing with a lot of people in any regards of dealing with their bullshit. Like, you'll be dealing with every other kingdom in regards of dealing with their particular threats, whether they want to take your shit over, whether you want to be peaceful or not. Pretty sure in due time, because I chose to fight against the Empire, Northern Empire, Western Empire, Southern Empire, and Vlandia are all going to want to take my fucking head off. But that's on my file. It's whatever. If you guys care to actually watch me go about this shit on a God file, do let me know. But that should be it. That should be everything in regards. I've probably said that before like 2 to 3 times, but no, in every regards for the basic stuff to help you understand what to do, that should be it. Again, remember the key things. This right here looks overwhelming, but if you just wanted to, if you want to get better at it, just do it. Go into a fight, kill with the weapons you want. Make weapons, be a sneaky bastard, be a smart merchant. All of that shit. You want to get better at it? Do it. Plain and simple. Hope y'all enjoyed. I shall see you in the next video I care to create or edit or upload in whatever time, however so. Really not much to show you here because it's really self-explanatory. It's just the game sucks at explaining this shit. Hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye for now.